Chapter 66, Sly. I never thought Penelope would have to resort to adhesive guns, I taunt, as Branwell does whatever he came up with to take care of Raleigh. It's been effective so far, she counters. Overhearing Branwell take Raleigh away back to the mouth, I'm able to calm down a bit and focus on my foe here. Penelope admittedly gets a few close calls. I then hear, after a bit of dancing around her aims, the click of her gun to require a reload. With all my might, I heave a nearby rock at her and manage to get her in the hands, causing her to drop the gun and grip her hand in agony. I run, grab the gun, and kick her back so she can't fight me on it. I also pick up the ammo she was about to reload the gun with, and I shoot a dollop close range to her stomach. She ends up trapped on the ground. Stay down, I warn her, pointing the gun near her face. I'm not going to shoot it and block her airways. I'm not a monster, but she doesn't have to know I'm feeling chivalrous right now. From what I can hear, Branwell and Raleigh are fighting and they're both holding their own. I'll go check on them later. I need to find that plane. I'm so close now to the noise that I know a plane is the only thing it could be, and a plane here means preparing for takeoff. I head into the cave Penelope must have run from, and a little while in, I catch sight of hangars full of gun holsters. But what catches my attention most is a giant cell. The smell hits me like a punch in the face. There have definitely been people trapped here recently, forced to share a bathroom and unable to shower. The door is open. There's no bodies. I see another hallway farther down, and I think it's where the propeller sound is coming from. As I run, I see drippings of something mauvish and sparkly. They must have taken some of their potion this way. It slightly smells like the rock from before, too. I don't really remember these parts of the Skull Temple from last time. Either it's gone through a big renovation or I never danced my way through this part. As I get closer, I overhear something aside from the plane, like knocking or pounding on a door. I then finally see said plane. It's pretty big. I never knew the temple had a runway or a gate to open it up to traffic, but I see sunlight from here. Help us! Someone! Please stop! I overhear. The drug and the prisoners must both be on this plane. I theorize the reason the plane's been turned on so long but hasn't taken off yet is it's needed time to warm up, and only now have the guards been able to get all the prisoners in. I bet the guards are all guarding the prisoners inside right now. The plane is just beginning to go. I get an idea on the spot. I shoot the wings with Penelope's glue gun, one at a time and 2 shots per. Remembering how much of a blast it can actually do, I'm able to stop the plane in its tracks. I try to come up with my next move, but realize it's already upon me. Shadow Order guards begin exiting to find out why they can't take off. I fire my glue gun again, and they get pasted to the ground. From a shout, it's clear everyone in the plane now knows they're under attack. More guards end up leaving and noticing me, but a handful of the prisoners get free in the plane and give me a helping hand. They tackle and wrestle the guards, and I lend a hand with my cane. In the chaos, I see none other than Roger Silvio leave as well. He must have been trying to fly the plane. He has a weapon of his own. He makes eye contact with me and clearly recognizes me from that London job interview, but my instincts are faster than his. I manage to get a direct hit with the glue gun and pin him to the wall. With a whoosh of victory, the prisoners are now all out of the plane. They reek and are clearly starving, but they're fine. How do we get out of here? Asks one of the prisoners. Which way? I know, answers a different one. I used to be under Miss Ruby's spell, and this used to be her lounge. Her furniture's no longer here, but I recognize it completely. She runs over to the open gate and looks down. It's a safe enough distance to the ground, she yells. We can jump, it'll be all right. I once did this to escape, it's soft. To prove her point, she does so. I know the rest of the way out of here, she calls. I've never forgotten. Everyone with me. Trusting the story and instinct of this prisoner, I nod for anyone who sees. Go! In about a minute, everyone, even the somewhat frail, has either jumped down or is helped down. You meddling! Grunts Roger, who I forgot was here. I walk over to the stuck bad guy. Where's the guru? I demand. And why would I tell you anything? I crack a smile. Maybe if you do, you'll be able to one day see your family while not behind bars. Branwell Mapperson is here and he's ready for some extra payback. Roger looks like he's about to crack a tear, in spite of his pride. I guess some geniuses know when they're beat. I set myself for whatever he's about to say next when I get a startling spike of pain in the back of my neck. Electricity courses through me and snaps through my muscles like needles. My arms and legs can no longer move on their own, and I crash to the floor. And some geniuses know how to be tricky, he concludes. I can't move my face, but I see Raleigh staring up at me with some kind of taser. He doesn't give a witty remark, though. He grabs my glue gun and gives it back to Penelope, who walks in, somehow unglued. Adhesive dissolving suit, she explains, displaying an arm. Made with the same fibers as this little ray gun. She holds up a dark red weapon. She aims it at the glue, keeping Roger in check, and within a few seconds, the glue cracks off. Raleigh, calls a voice I know is Murray's. You can't run forever. You will all pay for what you've done to my master. I think Sly went that way, I hear Branwell saying. From how stuck down I am, but how I can slightly wiggle, I think I'll be able to move in a few minutes, but that's too long. I can't even move my lips to warn everyone. But I can't do anything as my gang runs right into the trap. Bentley, Branwell, Dimitri, Murray, McSweeney, Thornell, and even Carmelita all get splattered by the glue and stuck to the walls. I see them having additional glue guns with them. They must have armed themselves from the holster I was too busy to look at. Makes no difference now, though. Carmelita still has her hand free and goes for the shock pistol, and one actually is able to hit Silvio, but Penelope successfully gets another glob, completely covering the pistol and her hand before she's able to do any real damage. Let us out of here, roars Murray. Raleigh laughs. Penelope does not. Raleigh then goes over to Silvio. You all good? Yeah, just a bruise. I'll still be good. The prisoners sadly got away. They'll be back in town by now. No matter, says Penelope. We accomplished our mission. Now it's time to actually get rid of the pests, says Roger. Especially the raccoon and dog. They've been thorns in my side since the beginning. We'll take care of them, says Raleigh. Silvio, you get our liquid to you-know-where. That's the priority. And get these guards over for treatment. Real authorities might be here soon. Okay, Frog. We all watch him walk over to the plane, picking up any of his order colleagues who fell in the fight. When he closes the door to the cargo, he struts arrogantly in a way that I know is driving Branwell crazy. And we can't do anything but watch as the plane is now able to take off, with the glue-dissolving gun having done its work on the wings. My master's on that plane, isn't he? Says Murray. You can't take him! In a last-ditch effort, I begin to get up, but Raleigh senses my movements and shocks me again. I groan in agony. Just lay still, says Penelope. All of you. Come on, Raleigh. They know when they're beaten. They have no idea what's going to be happening next. Let's just shock them unconscious and get out of here. Unconscious? Are you insane, my protege? I see Raleigh do something that causes an electric screech coming from the taser to get louder. We're ending their lives now. Whoa, no. The authorities will be here soon, and many people now know about us. We haven't actually killed anyone. We don't want to be hunted down. Penelope, listen here and listen carefully. We foolishly let them go, they'll come after us. They beat you and put you in jail once before, and we've seen their handiwork. They escaped that pyramid, they saved that pathetic pup, and they actually beat me in my prime years. If you show mercy, they will be able to put a case against you and lock you up somewhere with no tech for life. Penelope gives a heavy sigh. You're right, Branwell. I know I'm in too deep. She looks to Bentley. Go to him first. Excellent idea. Raleigh begins practically bouncing over to Bentley, who's terrified. It will be my pleasure to officially call myself your new partner. Out with the old and in with the... Raleigh doesn't finish his sentence because he's unable to lift his right foot all of a sudden, and he falls on his face. And I just saw why. Penelope shot her glue gun at his leg. She then walks up to him, and it's only when she forces the taser out of his hands when Raleigh realizes it was her. Penelope, what are... Without a word, she checks that the taser is still cranked as high as Raleigh put it, and electrocutes him right in the back. He screams, and I swear I see bursts of his actual skeleton. The ground vibrates a little bit, and she doesn't let up. She keeps tasing until Raleigh stops showing any signs of independent movement. I think I smell a bit of smoke. She catches her breath a bit, shutting her eyes to avoid looking at Raleigh's body. Behind her, I notice McSweeney, whose arm got caught in the goop, coming free. I think he's been trying to inconspicuously loosen it, focusing primarily on it, and now he's been able to break himself out. Penelope realizes a little late this happened, and McSweeney sprints up and whacks her in the head. She falls to the ground instantly, coughing, and I don't know what to feel. I just saw her save us. McSweeney grabs Penelope by the collar. Where did that plane go? The Guru's. I can see it's hard for her to talk. What? Box of food. McSweeney looks behind him. I guess that's where her eyes were gesturing. I didn't see. But I do see when she falls unconscious, and McSweeney goes to check out an apparent box of food. It doesn't occur to him to pick up the dissolver and free us all, but I'm a little too freaked out at all that's happened in the last 2 minutes to be annoyed.